Austin, Texas Country, Coke FM. It's Texas Nights. I'm Scotty Bennett, and that's someday William Beckmann, the guy that's on the phone right now. William Beckmann, how you doing tonight?
Scotty, I'm doing all right, man. How are you doing?
Great. Thanks for joining me, and I've been meaning to talk to you for a while. We played your song last week for New Music at 10. Of course, the song is Someday, the one we just played, and that reminded me that I've been wanting to talk to you, and then you're doing tomorrow night with Django Walker at Willie's Joint, and that's part of the No Bad Days music series, so I'm like, I got to get him on the phone. And I was telling you this before the interview, one of the guys at the station, I think it was Eric and Rita, saw you. It might have been the Texas Regional Radio Awards up in Arlington last year, and they came home just talking about some guy with a great voice who is like 25 years old, and Eric ended up winning one of the awards for DJ, and I think the radio station won something, but I think there's a lot of alcohol involved, so I'm not sure exactly how the story goes, but they came home raving about you.
A little bit.
So
yeah, man,
it's nice to meet you.
It was awesome.
And
thanks so much.
Yeah, and where are you right now? What part of Texas are you from?
I'm originally from Del Rio, Texas, but I'm in San Antonio at the moment. But I did grow up on the border. Radney Foster territory, as they call it.
Yes.
And that's where my family still lives there today. So.
And I knew that. I was doing some research, and I knew the Radney Foster connection because, you know, when you think, when you hear Del Rio, if you're in the country music scene, you think Radney Foster. And you got to be in that scene as well. And was he still hanging around when you were coming up, or was he, I know that you guys connected, but I wasn't sure how it happened.
No, he's lived in Nashville for probably since before I was born, to be honest. But we met each other through just mutual friends, and I had been kicking around. I was still in high school, and I was, playing music, and I was playing in a band. But actually, one of my high school teachers and Radney grew up together, and so he was the one that sort of connected us. And my teacher was actually really good friends with my father as well. So I don't remember what it was that Radney was doing in town, but he stopped by the high school, and we got to meet each other. And I don't think I said very much because I was so nervous the first time I met him. But he basically just asked me what I wanted to do with myself and with my career, and I told him I wanted to do what he did. And he started asking me about songwriting and whether or not I'd been writing any songs. And at that point, I really wasn't much of a writer. So he gave me his phone number and started kind of helping me out in the writing aspect of being an artist and an entertainer. And yeah, so I credit him a lot with being the guy that helped me get into writing.
That's awesome, because Radney, of course, is about my age, and you're my kid's age. So, I mean, I know that he wasn't still there, but I knew that there was a connection, and I knew that you guys had connected somehow. And it's funny because I grew up in Pearsall, which is down in South Texas, and all I knew about Del Rio is you take a right on I-35 near Pearsall to get to Del Rio. So I never got to hang out there a lot, but I know that there's a lot of good music. Of course, George Strait grew up in Pearsall, and then, the Radney Foster connection in Del Rio and everything. But everybody that I talk to is just loving your music and says that you're going places, and having Radney Foster to help you out is amazing. He couldn't be a nicer guy anyway, but to have him take you under his wing, that's pretty cool, and that's a great way to get your career kicked off.
Well, thank you for saying that. That means a lot. And also, I have to thank you and everybody at Coke FM for spinning this song, Someday, that I just put out. It really means a lot. And when I was living in Austin, y'all were the only station I ever listened to. So to
awesome.
be on the phone with you and to be, hearing my song on the radio is just really a dream come true. So thank you for that.
Well, it's good stuff,
going
man.
Back to Radney, yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff, and keep it coming.
It.
So tomorrow night, you're going to share the stage with Django, and do you guys know each other? Is this a tour y'all are putting together, or is it just did Greg Henry put you together?
Well, Greg put us together, but Django's just the nicest guy, and to be honest, we kind of got to know each other probably in about February or so, and they were doing, I believe it was the Texas Heritage Award show that they were doing in Austin, and that's when we had gotten to really get close to each other. And I think, I hope you don't get me mad at telling the story, but we were like in a hotel room with Jack Ingram at 4 in the morning. Surprise, surprise. And we were just passing the guitar around and playing different songs. And I tell this story about Django all the time because it was a really cool moment. But it was late. We'd all been up for a long time, and he gave me this leather guitar strap with JJW on it.
Oh, wow.
It was his dad's guitar strap, and he said, "Man, I want you to have this. It's my dad's guitar strap." And I was just kind of taken back and blown away. And of course, I thanked him and I hugged him. The next morning, of course, I wake up hurting pretty bad.
Yeah.
I called him on the phone. I said, "Hey, man, I know last night was kind of wild, but you gave me your dad's guitar strap. I'll definitely give it back if you didn't mean to give it to me."
That's exactly what I was going to say.
He's like, "That's yours, dude. I meant it. Like, that's all you." And so Django's the sweetest guy. We've written a song together. He's really excited to be getting back, on stage, back to playing some shows. So I'm super thrilled, man.
And let me give you a bit of advice. Nothing good can come out of being in a hotel room with Jack Ingram at 4 a.m. Just put that right there. Write it on top of your set list or whatever you need to. Don't do that.
I figured that out, man. I figured that out. I did it once. I don't know if I can do it again.
He's a character, and we love him. And he would come do the morning show with us occasionally, and he'd been up all night, and he's the funniest guy. He's great on the air, and he's one of the nicest guys out there too. He's kind of like in the vein of Radney Foster, except with alcohol. And he's
right. No, I love Jack.
You love Jack, and so we do too. But you mentioned the Texas Heritage Songwriters. That may be one of the places they were telling me about you as well, because I got to talk to Django at Saxon right before we were getting ready to kick off the Texas Heritage Songwriters, and then all this stuff happened with COVID, and everything went to what. And so, what have you been doing since March? Have you been writing, or is this going to be one of your first shows, or what you've been doing the last couple of months?
No, I have been playing a few shows in the past couple of months, but when the quarantine first started, I was writing a lot. I was back in Del Rio, kind of laying low and just sort of doing what everybody else was doing, just trying to stay safe and stay away from people. Right, and I do enjoy playing quite a bit of electric guitar, and I felt like I wasn't getting to do that enough when I was on the road and up in Nashville. So I started kind of trying to practice a little bit more of guitar and my piano, and just practicing and writing and doing that. And then a little bit further down the line, I started doing some private shows for people. People were contacting me to do some private stuff, which was fun. And I've learned that when you stop singing for an extended period of time, it becomes difficult. So it was nice to sort of keep that in check and keep the chops up, you know. So I was doing that, but I've been very grateful for the opportunities that have presented themselves. I did sign a publishing deal back in November or so, and so I'm trying to, keep that going as well, and writing with other people on Zoom and stuff. They've been doing kind of virtual
cool.
writing things up in Nashville and stuff. But just trying to stay busy and keep my mind focused on the music. It's what I love to do. So
it's good, because half the people I talk to that are musicians, they were just going completely crazy because they couldn't get out and do anything. The other half took the time and did something like you did, and actually devoted it to learning something new or honing something or writing and making the time, because how often once you hit the road, you never stop until your career is over. So this is so unusual for a lot of you guys that were out on the road, and then you're locked down for 6 months, and most people were going nuts. But if you can kind of put it to something good and use your powers for good instead of evil, I guess, during this troubled times, then it keeps you sane.
Right, and I agree with that. 2019 was when I really got to experience a lot of the extensive touring, because I still have a place in Nashville, but for the past 4 to 5 years I've been in Nashville because I went to Belmont University for a couple years, and actually before I went to Belmont I was in Austin going to St. Edward's University. And so I felt like when I was in Nashville it was just a lot of writing and doing writers rounds and guitar pulls and stuff like that around town. But I never was touring the way that the Randy Rogers Band does, or Wade Bowen, these guys that I get to hop on the opening slots with. And so I felt like I was barely getting to experience that before it stopped but I'm anxious to get back to it. You know, I was really enjoying it and getting to play in front of new people and feel like I was getting my music out there was just a really good feeling. So I can't wait to get back to that.
Great. And you're going to like it tomorrow night because I got to do one of these with Tracy Bird a couple of weeks ago at Willie's Joint. And it's fun. They've got a cover on it, and it's outdoors, and it's socially distanced. They've got picnic tables everywhere. The food's great. They've got great drinks, of course. And it's a great atmosphere for something like this. And you and Django are going to have a blast. And I'm going to try to make it down there tomorrow night. But if I can't, you have a great time. And next time you're in Austin, let us know because we'd love you to do something with us again. And maybe we can get you, next time you have a gig, go out there and show ourselves and get to meet you in person.
Yes, sir. That sounds amazing. Thank y'all so much.
All right, y'all. So we got William Beckmann, and we've got Django Walker tomorrow night. That's a double bill, a huge one at Willie's Joint for the No Bad Days music series. William, thanks for joining me tonight. We'll talk to you real soon, and just keep me posted on everything else going on. Good luck with your single someday. We'll be spinning it here in the hot rotation on Texas Nights, of course, and we'll be looking forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you, Scotty. I appreciate it.